Today's agenda is to talk about lift and shift PeopleSoft and EBS to OCI. So this is how the agenda is going to look like. We're going to talk about Astute. I will give you a brief overview of the company. We'll talk about why we should move PeopleSoft and EBS to OCI. We'll cover a few use cases on OCI for PeopleSoft and EBS. And then we'll talk about the proof of concept. We'll provide you a sample roadmap and timeline, and then we'll go to the Q&A. I have my colleague as well on the line, Javed. He's the one who's going to talk about the EBS use cases. Okay, so Astute Business Solutions, an overview. We are in business since 2006. We are based out of Pleasanton, California. We have global presence. In Toronto, we have an offshore delivery center in Hyderabad. We have local offices in Dallas and Madison also. We are Oracle partner, and we are cloud partner, standard partner as well. We have more than 20 years of industry experience. We are Velocity and MSP partner now, which I will take a little bit of time later to explain what exactly it is. But just to give you a brief introduction on what MSP is, that means Astute as a customer to Oracle can purchase Oracle cloud infrastructure credits from Oracle for our customers and lift and shift our customers to OCI. I'll explain a little bit more later. With that, we are on Oracle Cloud Marketplace. We have our own products listed there, such as Fastest, and another product called as PeopleSoft SaaS, which we will talk about in the coming slides. So let's talk about what cloud services and solutions do we provide on OCI. We provide advisory services where we will discuss the cloud strategy with you. We will do workshops with you. We'll try and understand your current architecture, current state, and based on that, we will give you a roadmap for the future for your migration to the cloud. We will also do proof of concept for you, where we will move a couple of your on-prem instances to the cloud, to Oracle Cloud Infrastructure, and go through various use cases on OCI. We provide migration services where we lift and shift your PeopleSoft, EBS, and other Oracle workloads from your on-prem data center to Oracle Cloud Infrastructure. Implementation services. Now, after migrating your application, we do provide implementation services on various cloud products such as Oracle Integration Cloud, Analytics Cloud, or chatbot for PeopleSoft using Oracle Digital Assistant. Managed services. After lifting and shifting your application to the cloud, we stabilize it and we provide managed services on OCI, where we maintain your Oracle applications for you and all the related infrastructure related to network security and servers, the VMs, and these all services are SLA based, which are available on our website and also on demand. When you talk with us, we can share that information with you. Okay, so what experience do we have on PeopleSoft and EBS when it comes to OCI? We are the top Oracle partner for PeopleSoft to OCI migration right now. We have done the most number of migrations, PeopleSoft migrations. Around 15 migrations we have completed successfully, moved PeopleSoft HCM, Campus Solution, FSCM. We have done a couple of EBS migrations, fairly new to the EBS gameplay, but we launched our practice last year, and we have already successfully completed a couple of POCs on OCI for EBS. We have done DR projects, Oracle Management Cloud projects. So extensive experience in moving your Oracle workload to OCI and stabilizing it there and provide managed services. We have worked across the industry with education, healthcare, retail, government, professional services customers. We have Oracle and PeopleSoft DNA, which means our co-founders and most of our staff, they are from either PeopleSoft or Oracle company. They used to work with them before starting this company. We have deep collaboration with Oracle folks. We keep on giving input on the various products such as Cloud Manager, which we use for PeopleSoft Lift and Shift. And we make sure that every new product which is launched in the market, we take it for a test drive before actually introducing to our customers. Recently, we have been focusing on a lot of automation on OCI. We use something called as Terraform to provision your cloud instances. Once we start using these scripts, it's just a matter of minutes or matter of clicks before you can have new instances deployed on OCI. We have a product called as Fastest, which is listed on the Oracle Marketplace. This is a test automation product developed by Astute in-house, and this is available for use. So this is based on PeopleSoft Test Framework, which is a People Tools product delivered by PeopleSoft. I'll talk a little bit more about Fastest in the next slides. PeopleSoft SaaS. So PeopleSoft SaaS is PeopleSoft Selective Adoption as a Service. This is the managed service we provide to run and maintain your PeopleSoft application on OCI, where we do strategy and planning with you to make sure that we understand what your needs are, what your future needs are, what your current needs are, and based on that, we provide you a proper plan. We get involved in the execution cycle, monthly, quarterly, or yearly, whatever your plans are. We work as per that. We help you to adopt new features on PeopleSoft, which is using PeopleSoft Update Manager. Then we continuously keep on improving your experience on OCI. We increase your PTF automation levels. We try to automate your testing internally using PTF and Fastest, so that you can save time there and spend more time on more productive stuff, maybe on projects or other operational stuff, and not get involved into day-to-day maintenance. PeopleSoft Fastest. So, like I said, this is the only Oracle validated integration available on the Oracle Cloud Marketplace. We developed this tool in-house, and this has been verified and tested by Oracle. So basically, this provides you an end-to-end automated solution where you can use PeopleSoft Test Framework to automate your testing scripts and use Fastest as a fluid dashboard on top of that to get a clear visibility. And this makes life easy because using PTF Thick Client, you do not get that visibility, you do not get any dashboards, and you do not get those extra features, the log tracker, the bug tracker, which you get on Fastest. It has easy to use interface, which is all online, comes with the PeopleSoft login. This is one-click batch execution. That means if on Friday, you can start executing the batch, which has number of test scripts in it or test shells in it, and you can leave for the weekend. When you come back, it will be all tested and ready for you. It has a reporting dashboard where you can see all the metrics, defects, filtered by module and test results. You can do defect management using this tool. It lets you create and track and manage the defects. Now, why PeopleSoft and EBS on OCI? So there can be various drivers. We have tried to list here a few major ones which we usually see with our customers. First one is hardware refresh. If there is a hardware refresh coming up, then you have a choice of not spending millions of dollars again to renew your obsolete hardware. But what you can do is you can run and maintain your applications on Oracle Cloud Infrastructure, which in comparison gives you tremendous performance at a lower cost. So this combination was not available before, where you can get a better performance on a lower cost, but with OCI, we have made it possible. Oracle has made it possible. If you need agility, if you want to go to market quickly, if you want to deploy new instances, so on-prem and with any other data provider or data center provider, usually what we have seen, it takes very long to provision new instances. But with OCI, we have a tool set available in form of Terraform, Cloud Manager, and all these activities can be automated. And you can, create new instances and destroy instances on a click or on demand, and you always stay current. Security threats. If there are various security threats you are facing on-prem in your current data center, OCI is secured by default. So if you move to OCI, most of your masking needs, encryption needs will be taken care of, and it is HIPAA and GDPR compliant. Reduce cost. So with OCI, with Oracle Cloud Infrastructure, you do not have to spend everything on day one. By that I mean is you can do a ramp up on OCI. So if you want to start small with dev and test only, you only purchase those many credits to host your dev and test instances on OCI, and then you slowly ramp up. So when you are ready to bring in UAT, when you are ready to bring in production, then you get more credits and start consuming more credits and actually start lifting and shifting those instances and using those instances on OCI. So basically, in short, get out of the data center business. So the primary function for business should be to be more agile and enter the market quickly, do what the business is meant to do, sell more services, or help your customers more, do more projects, be more efficient than spending more time on managing your data center. And with OCI, this is possible now. So you can define your business drivers for cloud. First of all, get out of the data center business, what we just discussed. Transform support services via MSP. So let's talk about MSP for a minute. So I gave you a brief introduction on what MSP is. That means Astute Business Solutions can purchase the cloud credits on your behalf, and we lift and shift your PeopleSoft applications or EBS applications to OCI, and we run and maintain it for you over there via our managed services. So we have a very comprehensive plan, very good structure available for that. So maybe after this webinar, if you're interested, get in touch with us and we can explain further. Reduce the operational cost. So you do not have to be 100% from day one. Like I said, you can start small and do not spend all your money from day one, but you can slowly ramp up and you only pay for what you use. Disaster recovery. This is a very, very good driver and a use case. Most of the companies who are running their disaster recovery on-prem or in one of the data centers, you can move disaster recovery environment to OCI without disturbing your production functions. So this is an excellent use case. If you are not ready to move anything else, start with the DR. So you lift and shift your DR environment to OCI and start using it there. You can evaluate this against your business needs. If one of the needs is innovation, which is the usual need for most of the organizations nowadays, you get one-click tools upgrade. You get one-click cloning, monitoring. You get automated start and stop of services on OCI. You can automated scale up and down. Automated testing is available. We discussed that before in terms of PTF or PUM, and Fastest is available for that. As an MSP, we will provide you that tool to automate your testing. Operational cost. Your operational cost will definitely come down. Your total cost of ownership will come down. Manual effort will be reduced, and then your resources can better concentrate on other operations. You can speed up the new feature adoption. You will have better SLAs available from Oracle on OCI and from Astute as a MSP, and will make sure your production application and other instances are running flawlessly on OCI. We will improve your reporting workflow, will modernize your applications, will implement Elasticsearch for you, will implement Fluid for you if it's still not available. Security gets better. Your data encryption will be available, masking will be available. The performance will get better for online and batch programs. This chart talks about various categories in which OCI, Oracle Cloud Infrastructure, is the clear winner. This is a quick cost comparison, except two categories here where AWS or Azure is a bit better than OCI. Rest all, OCI hands down is the clear winner. Talking about various other features and categories for PeopleSoft and EBS, what's available on OCI, it's not available on other providers such as Azure or AWS. Example, automation, the apps upgrade. So what happens is you have something called as Cloud Manager available on OCI, which is only available on OCI for your PeopleSoft and EBS applications. It is not available on Azure or AWS. You can automate your application upgrades using that, which you cannot do on any other provider. So that's one example. The performance is much better for Oracle workloads. It's much better on OCI because it is purpose-built for Oracle applications. By that I mean is it gives you the best performance and at a lower cost on OCI, which is not available on other providers. Let's talk about the advantages of running PeopleSoft on OCI. So the first one is speed of deployment. You have one-click provisioning available for the entire PeopleSoft stack. That means on a click of a button or on a click of a script, all your environment and all your PeopleSoft stack will be provisioned. Like I said, we use Terraform for that, and also another tool called as Cloud Manager is available from PeopleSoft. The upgrade automation. Now on OCI, there is a one-click tools upgrade available to 857 using Cloud Manager. So on OCI, when you launch Cloud Manager, and if you are on a older PeopleTools version, there is a functionality available where you can select the new tools version 857 and click upgrade, and within few hours it will upgrade the PeopleTools for you. Operational cost reduction. So we discussed this, no upfront investment in the hardware. You only pay for what you use, and you do not pay for 100% in the beginning. If you want to start small, yes, you can. You can start with a few instances, a few environments, and then you can ramp up slowly. So I can give you an example. As an organization, if you are not ready to spend all the money upfront, but you can still commit that in a year's time, this is how much you want to spend on OCI. So you can start small, you can start with dev and test, and then you can wrap up slowly. So maybe in the first 3 months, you can do your dev test environment there. You make sure it's all up running, your integrations are running. And after that, from 4th month onwards, you take it up to 100% usage, and you slowly move your UAT, you move your production, you start testing the performance. So that is all available with OCI right now. Higher performance. So bare metal and dense IO is available for a higher performance. And other than that, because it's purpose-built for Oracle applications, it's tuned that way to give you the best performance for the Oracle workloads on OCI. You get transparent data encryption by default, HIPAA compliance, ISO compliance, SOC, PCI, DSS, and more. So again, the bottom line is it's purpose-built for Oracle PeopleSoft workloads or any other Oracle workloads, and that means you get the best performance on OCI for your Oracle workloads. Value of PeopleSoft in Oracle Cloud, reduce time and cost, providing new capabilities, which we discussed before. quickly respond to your business needs by rapidly launching new implementation projects. So if your instances can be stood up very, very quickly, then you lose no time in bringing up new environments and instances, and you can quickly respond to your business needs. You can deliver critical features faster. You can aggressively drive your business forward by easily evaluating new features and new products. So once you're on OCI and you have single-click automation available, if you have to do a selective adoption for PeopleSoft using PeopleSoft Date Manager, then it's super fast now. And definitely as a MSP, Astute can help you in that. Increase business agility and better manage growth. So you decrease time to value by streamlining upgrades through testing on a clone production in the cloud. So basically, if you're going through an upgrade cycle or if you're going through any other projects, you can have a clone of production on OCI and complete all your testing there instead of disturbing your main application while you are in the transition phase. You keep your employee productivity high. You expand your business to new markets and geographies quickly. So if you have a new offshore center coming up and you want new infrastructure for that, OCI is the way to go. You increase productivity of your global workforce. So globally, wherever your offices are and you need new infrastructure, you do not have to go through that procurement cycle, a long procurement cycle, and buy all the hardware, then stack it and get it ready, go to a data center, install everything. With OCI, it's super fast right now. You just contact Oracle, you contact Astute, and we can get it all set for you in a matter of days. So these are few common use cases for PeopleSoft on OCI. The first one is the DR, which we have already discussed. So you can have high impact, zero disruption solution. You can provide instant ROI. So as soon as you bring your DR environment to the cloud, to OCI, you will see very quick returns on that. Selective adoption on OCI, you can automate the PUM deployments with Cloud Manager. You can adopt new features quickly. Upgrade on OCI. So once you are on OCI, you can do one-click upgrade to PeopleTools 857. You can do faster 9.2 upgrade because bringing up new instances is very, very quick now. Even if you go through 5 or 10 passes, few iterations, it's going to be very, very quick in comparison to the on-prem. So basically, it's not the matter of picking up your applications and moving to OCI. It's not only about that. It's not only about saving money on hardware. It's about what you can achieve once your application is running on OCI. So these are the use cases which gives you a lot of value when your application is on OCI. These are few more use cases. You can run your known production only, like we discussed, your dev test UAT if you are not ready for production. You can do performance testing on OCI, and you can do analytics cloud. You can bring in all your data quickly, and you do use OACS on top and do building your dashboards and start using the analytics on the cloud. PeopleSoft Cloud Manager, we briefly discussed that. So Cloud Manager is a tool provided by PeopleSoft, and it's built on top of PeopleTools. There are various functionality available with Cloud Manager. The very basic one and the most important one is the lift and shift functionality. So you can use Cloud Manager to lift and shift your on-prem data center applications to OCI. After that, once you are there, you can use that for PeopleTools upgrade to 857. And you can do automated tools patching, you can do automated PUM, you can do monitoring with that, you can do self-service provisioning. That means you can bring up and down instances, you create and destroy instances very quickly with that. You can have templates available, and every time you click a button based on that template, it will give you a new instance. These are few OCI functionalities which are available on OCI only for your Oracle workloads and for PeopleSoft, which are not available on non-Oracle platforms, such as automated lift and shift using Cloud Manager. That's not available. It's manual with other cloud providers. Automation in PeopleTools patching, which we discussed. the selective adoption, application patching, self-service provisioning, setup for monitoring, and then seamless integration. And you have a rich ecosystem of partners available like Astute to support you in this journey. And most of these activities are either not available or they're very, very manual on non-Oracle IS platforms. So I'll take a pause here. I'll pass it on to my colleague Javed, who is an EBS expert. He will talk about EBS on OCI. Javed?
Hi all. Yeah, I think let me start on EBS journey and OCI. So EBS is a pretty much mature product from last 3 decades, being in Oracle portfolio. So let's go on and see what Oracle has it for EBS on cloud. Yeah. Next slide, please, Anubhav. Yeah, the speed of deployment. So in Oracle Cloud, Oracle has done the maximum, the possible things which can be provisioned with a single click to provision entire EBS stack, starting with the load balancers, starting with the application stack and the database. And database has a different flavors in Oracle Cloud, starting with VM as an option to go to start the journey, and they can pretty much move and migrate to DBAS as a on bare metal, and Exadata as a database platform. So they do have a multiple flavors within Oracle stack, but during the provisioning we do select to go with the bare metal or VM, and we reprovision Exadata and migrate the database to Exadata cloud services. The second one, the unique proposition with the OCI is multi-tenancy is supported only on Oracle Cloud. So currently none other than OCI, it doesn't support to have a multi-tenancy as on their database architecture. So that's something unique which only OCI has currently, and it keep forwarding. Oracle will keep enhancing the multi-tenancy architecture going forward for the large consolidations and upgrade. Yeah, operational cost. Yes, it definitely has. Running EBS and Oracle IaaS is a much lesser cost than other cloud providers, and it doesn't need to be have a large capital to start with. So start using OCA and move on with the cloud journey and pay as you go. Yeah, higher performance. Yeah, bare metal and the dense IO are the best suitable to run EBS workload. So we do prefer to use either of these choice as a database as a database platform, and you have Exadata as a next generation platform from Oracle. So you start the journey with a bare metal and try the dense IO on the VMs, then you pretty much have Exadata cloud services to move on to the very higher performance and the better performance, and so that should be the end. Where Oracle heads everyone's to use Exadata cloud service. Increase security. Yes, TDE, HIPAA, and ISO, SOC, PCI are very well compatible and certified on bare metal and dense IO for the database. And TDE comes as part of the bundled in Exadata cloud. So when customer adopt Exadata cloud services to run the EBS workloads, all of this comes as part. The compliance comes and the security is part of the cloud journey. Pretty much Exadata gives every enterprise edition features on an organization can leverage. They can optimize their workloads. They can have all the advanced feature what Oracle provides as an enterprise edition, which other cloud providers does not have at this moment. And it's purposely built to run Oracle EBS and OCI. Yeah, I think it's better always start using OC as a EBS DR. So by this customer can leverage and they can adopt Oracle OCI as their cloud vendor, and they can pretty much start using DR on OCN learn how to provision the EBS, how to manage the EBS volumes, EBS compute engine, then selectively adopt how to move on. So EBS DR is the first journey to start with. I mean, as we recommend, that should be the first step to adopt the cloud and move on with the selective adoption. So they can move on after DR, have moved their application or external architecture to the OCI. They can choose it. Then they can have an option or switch the DR as a primary and on your current primary as a DR. So just switch the roles and move on with the OCI journey. That will be pretty much painless and very straightforward as Oracle keeps on investing on OCI to have a more automation, built-in automation, and switch the roles. Yeah, next slide. Yeah, so EBS, I mean, another way to start using OCI is to push all your non-prod workload to the OCI and start leveraging OCI as a secondary platform. Then do a benchmarking and the performance testing on OCI with the different flavors of bare metal, VM, and Exadata, and take a decision how OCI works. Then start adopt the Oracle Management Cloud, which is the next generation monitoring platform for EBS and any database and middleware platforms within OCI. So our suggestion is to go. This is the second line of adoption, to start using non-prod on OCI and do all this stuff and engage Oracle to have a secondary partner, and then switch this as a primary, then move on with the cloud journey in OCI. Yeah, so Oracle EBS Cloud Managers does a great job for any current and the new EBS customers, just by creating an entire topology in OCI, and it builds entire ecosystem within OCI, tenancy, compute engine, storage engine, storage. So as partners, so I do recommend customers to start using the Cloud Manager and build a topology and refresh your database and middleware stack as you move forward. Basically, to provision the environments, we do use Ansible to scale up and scale down, and Terraform for the provision. So it's a combination of Ansible and Terraform for the provisioning environments. Lifecycle management is entirely managed through Oracle Application Management Pack. If any customer has Enterprise Manager, or they can leverage Management Cloud and use the entire features of APM what provides on-prem at this time, and that can pretty much do any kind of clones or refreshes. Yeah, so this slide is similar to the PeopleSoft, but the only difference is EBS can run on Exadata with a multi-tenancy built in, with all the Enterprise Manager features only on Oracle Clouds. That's only key take for any customers, those who are running on-prem, and those who are willing to run EBS on Oracle Cloud. And remaining all automation remains same, which is available for the PeopleSoft customers, and it can be combined and utilized. And any customer can pretty much use these all, which are not available on non-Oracle IaaS platforms. So lift and shift, application patching, automated cloning, automated monitoring of OEM by using Oracle VM or bare metal snapshot feature. Then they can pretty much simply provision, upgrade, and have seamless experience within OCI when they start. Yeah, I'm done with the EBS. Back to Anubhav.
Thank you, Javed. So, see, the use cases on OCI for PeopleSoft and EBS are very, very similar. Even the features available on cloud are applicable to both applications. So I'll take a minute to talk about the proof of concept, how we go about it. So if you are now ready to look into OCI, the first step would be a proof of concept where you can talk with us and say, see, we want to lift and shift a couple of our instances to OCI. and we want to make sure that's the right playground for our applications. So how can we help? So we can do that in 3 steps. First of all, we can lift and shift one of your non-production instance to OCI, and we can execute a few predefined use cases which we will work with you. You have seen a few use cases on our slides, but those are not the only use cases available right now. There is a lot more you can do once you move your application to OCI. So first step is define, where we will define the scope of POC, the use cases, and the expected outcomes. Then deploy is where we actually lift and shift your non-production instance to OCI. We execute all the use cases, and we prepare a detailed report for you. Then validate, we review all the outcomes. We show you the value of moving your application to OCI, and if you want to try out more use cases after that, we can repeat the whole cycle. Something I wanted to share here is you can use the Velocity funds for the POC. So Velocity is a program started by Oracle on OCI, which means Oracle provides $15,000 towards the services. That means if you engage us to do a proof of concept for you, first of all, you get free credits from Oracle, the free trial for 30 days. And on that trial tenancy, Astute can come in and lift and shift your non-production instances and execute various use cases with you. We have extensive experiences doing that. We have done that for various customers. So that is something which is available. So you may end up paying nothing. So it may be a $0 POC for you, $0 towards the OCI credits, and $0 towards our services, because we get that money, we get that $15,000 from Oracle. So that's one of the incentives Oracle is giving you right now to run your applications on OCI. So how a typical POC timeline looks like. So it's usually a 3 to 4 weeks proof of concept will do for you. Week 1 would be the prep, where we define the scope, we define the architecture and sizing, we apply all the patches, we install all the DB servers, we make sure everything, the whole architecture is available for you to lift and shift your instances. Week 2 is build, where we actually lift and shift your instances to OCI. We restore and configure them there. We do all the audits. We take all the row counts and all the necessary actions to make sure your application, your instance has been lifted and shifted properly. Third week is validating, where we provide access to the customer to the OCI tenancy, where customer can go and start playing with that lifted and shifted application. They can do transactions there. They can execute various use cases. They can run reports. And if testing integrations is one of the use cases, that means we covered that in week 2. We build your integrations for you, whatever we defined in the week 1, and then you can actually test it. You can go through the whole lifecycle management on cloud. Week 4 is report, where we provide you the complete POC report, that what all was tested, what was the outcome, and then we evaluate POC against the expected outcomes. And then we actually give you a complete report which you can see and decide your future on cloud, future on OCI. And at this time, if you are ready to commit more, we can provide you a quote for the lift and shift services for rest of your applications, and we can provide you a detailed plan and a proposal, and we can help you migrate your application. But it doesn't stop there, because Astute is a MSP partner. That means we can run and maintain your applications on OCI as well. So it's a sample roadmap, timeline, and best practices we would like to share with you. The first step would be to prepare. So you go through a roadmap and strategy exercise. Now, it may involve few workshops. It may involve a POC. It may involve all the exercises which will convince you and prove it to you that OCI is the place to be. After that, either you can directly contact Astute, or usually other organizations, they come up with a request for proposal. to select a vendor to lift and shift your applications to OCI. So you can go through that process, contracting process. A second step would be deploy, which is your PeopleSoft and EBS migrations. We can lift and shift those from on-prem data centers to OCI. And whatever integrations you need, whatever new features you need, whatever modernization you need on PeopleSoft, on OCI, on EBS, we can do that for you. And then you can transition to the MSP model where we will run and maintain your application on OCI. Improvement. So third step is stabilize. So basically, once you are there and we are your MSP partner, we'll stabilize your application for you. We'll make sure everything is up and running properly. You have a proper support available. Whatever objectives you had in mind before you actually moved to OCI, they are being met. Then improve. After that, you can bring in automations. You can bring in other cloud products such as Oracle Management Cloud. You can bring an integration cloud or analytics cloud. We can implement all that for you to make sure your application is modernized. You're getting the performance. You're getting the value out of your investment. Migration considerations. First of all, if you are planning to migrate PeopleSoft and EBS applications to OCI, then it should be seamless. That means your current stack of PeopleSoft applications running on-prem or in a data center, they are not disturbed. Your current production operations shouldn't be disturbed. So you need to do a thorough planning first. Make sure you take care of all the dependencies, constraints, and if you have any other projects going on, we need to look at that and prepare a proper timeline. We need to look at the resource availability. We need to look at the change management within the same organization because there are various parties involved. We need to make sure they are all on the same page and they understand the value of this exercise. You can do a phased approach for de-risking the whole exercise. Instead of lifting and shifting all the instances, all the applications together, you can take a phased approach. You can be in a hybrid mode for some time. You can lift and shift non-prod first, and you can keep on running your prod on-prem, but right after that, if you're happy with non-prod, the next phase would be to actually pick up prod and run it on OCI. And DR can be part of this. You can do it before or after. Most of our customers, usually what they do is they do non-prod, and this is what we suggest. They do non-prod, the UAT, DR, and then production. You optimize your spend. That means you do not spend 100% in the beginning. Even if you have annual commitment of, for example, $20,000 or $50,000, you can only consume what you need now. So maybe you can consume only $10,000 worth of credits, and you can say, okay, for now I'm going to do my non-production first. And maybe after 3 months, once my dev and test are up and running, and I can actually unit test that and make sure it's all good, that is the time you may want to go to the full capacity and you move DR, you move production, you start doing performance test, and then you go live. Move, improve, and extend. So you want to take advantage of the automation capabilities available on OCI. We have Oracle Integration Cloud. With that, we have Oracle Management Cloud. All these tools are available on OCI, which you can take use of and advantage of. So this is the typical Astute's approach for lift and shift. We start with the discovery workshops, and after that we lift and shift your non-prod. Then we lift and shift the prod and disaster recovery. So in this whole cycle, we prepare your future state. We prepare the future proposed architecture for you. We do the whole sizing exercise for you. We use the tools such as Cloud Manager and Terraform to lift and shift and provision instances on OCI for you. After that, we lift and shift the production. We design it there. We provision it for you. And then we implement disaster recovery. And we can use DataGuard for that to actually replicate the data between your PeopleSoft application instance and DR. This is our methodology, how we do it. Assess, First of all, we look at your current state, design where we give you a future state architecture, the sizing, the scope for your applications to run on OCI. We do a build for you where we actually lift and shift your non-prod, prod, and DR, all these instances and applications to OCI. Then configure, we repoint all the existing integrations. So this is one of very, very important use case on OCI, which means when you lift and shift your applications to Oracle Cloud Infrastructure, all your existing integrations which are running properly on on-prem, they should work seamlessly, flawlessly on OCI also. So within this, we make sure all your integrations are up and running. We test that with you. We configure the DR for you. And then we finally go live. We have a cutover window, which is very, very small. We do not take many days to actually do the cutover. Usually it's over the weekend, and then you can go live with all your Oracle applications on OCI. This is a timeline. So you see 7 months here where we do all these, but we have done similar projects in less than 16 weeks also. It depends how many applications we have. If we have only one application, then it can be done in as less as 8 weeks also. But if, suppose example, you have PeopleSoft, HCM and FSCM running together, you want to lift and shift all the non-prod, prod, DR, and you want to use Cloud Manager for that, which is our recommendation, it may go up to 16 weeks of exercise. But if with PeopleSoft you have EBS application as well, then we can phase it out for you, we can plan it for you. But this is how the typical timeline looks like, where we start with the contracting, then we provision OCI for you. We start doing the plumbing work, which means we set up your network, we set up the security on OCI, we set up all the compartments, we set up your VCN network, we make sure all the architecture is provisioned properly before we can lift and shift your application to OCI. Then at this time, we lift and shift your instances, we implement DR, and then we do the pre-prod and prod, and then you go live. So at this time, what should be the next steps for you? I mean, we have discussed about why your PeopleSoft and EBS applications should run on OCI, and why should you do that. We have discussed what are the advantages, what are the use cases. We have discussed how can you start with the POC. So basically, next steps can be you can start with the POC, which will be 2 to 4 weeks exercise, define use cases with the realistic outcomes, and then we'll validate it for you. You go to Oracle Cloud, you can buy the credits from there. You can contact Astute, we are MSP partners. We can set up the tenancy for you. We can actually talk with Oracle, get it on your behalf and set it up for you. And then we can actually start with the POC. And then we start deploying your instances on OCI. Maybe with the POC start small, maybe a dev and test on OCI. And once you're ready after 30 days, we give you a complete proposal for all your instances and applications, and we move them to OCI. So we have Cloud Days coming up end of this month. We'll be in Atlanta. We'll be in Miami on January 31st in Oracle office, and we'll be in Atlanta on February 1st in the Oracle office. So if you go to our website, here is the link, beastute.com Roadshow 2019. If you go there, you will see all these links available. You can click on it and register for the events. These are few other useful links about PeopleSoft, Cloud Manager. You can go here and our CTO and Chief Architect and the co-founder Arvind is here. He will. There is a video talking about our customer success here. Then there is another link where you can find more about PeopleSoft Cloud Manager. You can go to this link and find more information. Q&A. So these are few frequently asked questions we have on the screen. We will encourage others to ask questions at this time. Let's look at the I see Santosh has already answered few questions. Please feel free to ask more questions. Okay, I'll try to read these frequently asked questions here for you. How do I know if OCI is the right cloud solution for my organization? So basically, OCI does provide flexibility, scalability, cost savings, and security and reliability, but still you can start with the proof of concept with a POC to prove it. And for us to prove it to you that yes, this is the best playground for your applications. So what do you need to prepare for the cloud? We can assess your current situation, we can do workshops with you, and we can provide you assessment report, how your current state is, what your future state should be, what your journey should be like, what roadmap you can take. Our third question is, what workloads can I move to the cloud? You can move everything, non-prod, prod, DR, backup, archival, anything which can run on-prem can run on OCI. Is the cloud safe for personal information? Yes, it is secured by default. It's HIPAA and SOC certified. Is it possible to integrate data in the cloud with other systems on-premise or third-party? Yes, most clients have specific integration requirements, and we can meet all these requirements on OCI. Let's see if there are more questions. There is a question, are you going to share the deck? Yes, we will. We'll share the recording. Let's see if any question which is still not answered. Is assessment service included in the POC? It depends what type of POC you want us to take. Yes, usually it does. So for a few of our customers, we started with the assessment exercise and then we did the POC. So yes, it is available. Can you please elaborate more on how to migrate business data, schema, metadata from on-prem system to OCI? Is the data transfer also supported by Cloud Manager? Yes, the answer is yes. So Cloud Manager actually picks up your complete PeopleSoft stack and provision that on OCI. Why do you move prod to OCI first and then non-prod? Saw it in the methodology. So I think what you saw was prod was on the top. So number one is below, which is non-prod. So we do non-prod before, then we do the prod. So I can take you back to that slide. Here it is. So if you see number one is non-prod, then number two is prod and then DR. Does that answer your question? Okay, good. Any other questions, please? We still have 5 minutes left, so feel free to ask questions. And you can ask questions on PeopleSoft, EBS, and methodology, anything we have covered today. We still have a few minutes left, so I'll be here for these next 4 minutes. If you have any questions, feel free to ask. Yes, this question is coming from whom? Okay, Santosh. So Santosh, we have customers like Volt Information Sciences. They are a professional services company in Orange County. And we have done successful PeopleSoft HCM and Finance lift and shift to OCI for them. We are also managed services provider for them. Other than that, we have CARE. They are a non-profit. They are in 94 countries. They had biggest database in terabytes, which we have moved successfully to OCI. Other than that, we have various other customers for which we have done the lift and shift to OCI so far. I'll give you a few more names like University of Santiago. These guys are in Chile, and their customer success story is also available on Oracle website. So they were running on-prem. They were struggling with the on-prem hardware cost, and they wanted to go live with PeopleSoft Campus solution, and they were struggling with that. So Astute went in, lifted and shifted their application to OCI, and also implemented Campus Solution 9.2 for them. So that was one of the success story. Other than that, for Volt, we have been very, very successful. Their CIO, he was in Open World last year, and he was with us in the conferences, inspiring other customers to adopt OCI, to start using OCI. They're getting excellent performance on OCI. Even with the IPsec tunnel, they do not have fast connect yet, but they are still seeing tremendous results. Any more questions, anyone? Yeah, I think we answered that one before to Jeremy. The usual is starting with non-production to avoid the risk. So most of the times, this is how we start, either with a DR or non-prod. Then you go to the prod. So mostly we haven't seen any customer yet directly deploying production first and then non-production. So the usual path would be non-production and then production. But if that's one of your use case and you want production to run on OCI and you want non-production to run on on-prem data center, yes, it can be done. So it's achievable. Yes, OMC implementation success story. We implemented Oracle Management Cloud for University of Santiago in Chile. They are currently using that, and they're doing trend analysis on it. They have dashboards available for reporting. And what they did, they had standalone databases outside OCI, outside PeopleSoft. They consolidated everything on OCI, and they're doing reporting using Oracle Management Cloud. So it's 12 o'clock now here. Thank you so much, everyone, for your time today. I hope you found this useful. Feel free to contact Astute Business Solutions, and I hope we can help you in your journey to the cloud. Thank you very much. Bye-bye.